Hello everyone and welcome back to another studio vlog. I'm Alicia and this is my studio / guest room where I make most of the magic happen, but as you can see it's very bland and not much is happening with the walls. As you have an indication from the title, this is going to be a mini makeover as I want to have a room that will inspire me as well as keep me motivated to go above and beyond for my passion. This makeover took me a couple of days to finish in November-December, and I will only focus on one side of the room this time. The full makeover video will probably be for another time in the future. I guess I never mentioned this in my channel that I also paint sometimes, though not as much as I would like. My preferred medium is gouache as I can play around with it and have some control over my paintings. I'm just an amateur painter who enjoys colors, and here is my quick explanation of gouache just in case you are not familiar with it. Typically, gouache is described as opaque watercolor, but it's much more than that. In traditional gouache, pigments are ground up into a powder, but not as finely as watercolor. The larger pigment particles are still very fine to a human eye, but are larger than what is used in the watercolor paint. The pigments are combined with a binder, typically gum arabic, and more pigments are added. You will also find acrylic gouache, which is similar to traditional gouache except it uses a polymer binder, which is most of the time plastic, that dries permanently. Therefore, you cannot re-wet it and use it like watercolor or gouache. That's why I prefer using the traditional gouache as I can reuse it with minimal to no wastage. Anyway, I might start selling art prints this year, but for that I will have to either upgrade my printer or outsource it, so I will have to save up some money and sell more stickers, I guess. That reminds me that the shop has been updated with the new sticker sheets from my January bullet journal and also a few new items like magnetic bookmarks and also fridge magnets. The link is in the description below, and as of today the shop has been updated, so you can go and check all these new products along with the old ones that are there. Okay, coming back to the video, I'm going to use command strips to put all the frames on the wall because of two main reasons. First, I am a nervous chicken. I had this thought in my mind that I will not like the placement of the frames. I will hate seeing them positioned wrongly and I will have to see them every day. Secondly, it's a brick wall, so the normal patching of the drywall technique will not work in case I want to move things around in the future, or as mentioned in point 1, I will hate it. We are not renting this house, but it is a renter-friendly and anxious-friendly solution. For this project, I believe I bought 2 packets of 16 strips of command strips just in case I run out, but I knew I won't be needing that many because I only have 13 frames to hang. I will use the others for the future makeovers. The koi fish paintings are some of my favorites from the lot. I painted them while I was pursuing my master's here in Dublin. I never mentioned this before, but I have double masters in HR and I have 8 years of experience working as a corporate recruiter. Anyways, I always get fascinated by documenting creativity and appreciated the hard work that goes into creating something from scratch. And as a Virgo myself, I am my biggest critique, so most of the time I don't even show my other projects to anyone. But this year, I guess I am going to be a bit bold and try to leave the critiquing to when it is actually required. I have had these paintings hiding in my drawers for more than a year, and they need the appreciation they deserve. It is also a motivating factor for me to see the art I love and get inspiration from them. The little frames that I showed a few minutes ago is actually hosting the cover of Ginja, which is a popular drink from Sintra, Portugal. This was one of the gift boxes with small bottles and dark chocolate cups. So the way you drink this is by pouring the liquid into the chocolate cups and putting the entire thing in your mouth together. The explosion of flavor is so good, and if you are a chocolate lover, this is something to definitely try. Since I loved it so much, I wanted to frame it for the happy memories it gave me. Plus, the artwork is stunning, but not in that white paper background, and that's the reason why I am going to paint it black, so that the whole art actually pops up and the background kind of blends in with the black frame. I will do the same for the postcard, which is a recreation of Van Gogh's Windmills on Montmartre. I am going to use black acrylic paints as they are comparatively faster when it comes to drying, and since the papers have a shine to it, acrylic will be the best to adhere to the surface. I did have to go over multiple times, so it was dark enough and I couldn't see the white background. I would say it turned out fine until I had to peel off the washi tapes. I was fully expecting it to have a very clean line giving those serotonin boost, but no, it had its own plans, so I could not share the most satisfying process of painting, that is ripping off the painter's tape or the washi tape. So I used this permanent marker by Identity pen to fill up the lines. I also found this pen to be the best to do the outline for glass painting, so highly recommend it if you want to try glass paintings. I did the reverse glass paintings, which was a wild concept to me when I discovered it last year, and I painted this for my husband since he is a big anime fan. Here is a picture of what I painted. It is one of the video games that he played and one of his favorite characters from that game. And I think the game is called Persona 5. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that is the character that I wanted to give him, and it was a anniversary gift actually that I painted for him, and he really likes it. He has kept it in his office and he sees it every day, so I guess it was a hit with him. I'm someone who likes handmade gifts, and if I received a very personalized handmade gift, I really cherish it. So I always try to make something special and customized for my friends and family, taking in consideration their interest as well, because I do have various interests. I like, gothic. I also like boho. I like dark and moody, but at the same time I like the Scandinavian aesthetic style. So I guess it just depends on my mood, how I am feeling. So I want to consider how the person that I'm going to gift anything, what is their aesthetics, or what is it that they usually like in their dresses, in their home decor, so I can prepare something that they will actually use. I don't like to give people gifts just randomly that they are just going to put it in the drawer and forget about it. So I like to give something which is useful and also at the same time looks pretty. While doing the makeover, I also received my Amazon package. I ordered the glue tape refills for doing my journaling and Buke Stationery's notebook, which I am currently using as my reading journal. I have done a full review of the notebook and the video to that will be also linked below. Here you can see me refilling the older glue tape. So the traditional one that you would mostly see will have maybe a meter or two of the glue, and after it runs out you kind of have to throw it, which I feel like a lot of waste. So that's why I wanted to buy something that you can refill the tape and can use the product over and over again, and that is kind of more sustainable. than just buying the cheaper, smaller ones that just runs out very fast, and also you have to literally throw them away. Hi guys, so I bought these two frames from HomeSense, which is a part of TK Maxx in Ireland. It's not the real sense HomeSense that you will find probably in the US, but this is more like the cheaper version or the more organized version of TK Maxx, and I really wanted to try out their collection. This frames each cost me €3, so that will be around $350, I guess, with the current rate. But I bought this purely because of the frames. I tend to lean more towards darker frames. As you can see, I have the black and the dark oak wood frames. These are from IKEA, but I wanted to bring in a little bit of different color in the gallery wall. I do not want to introduce any metals because that's going to be very contradicting to the style that I'm trying to go with. That is more natural wood and blacks. But the design here is in itself, it's nice if you are going for a more abstract and boho style. I do like those styles. It's just not going to complement with the dark and moody ones that I have in my mind right now. So I will be replacing these pictures with something more that I am into, which is paintings at the moment. So these are the ones that I painted, and this is a London portrait that I actually bought from Camden Market. It cost me £20. You can do the calculation, but it was something very interesting. So this phone booth over here is an iconic phone booth. So if you will go to Instagram, it's a very Instagrammable post. Everybody will be standing right over here because you get the Big Ben Tower over here, and then you have the Westminster Palace, and this kind of gives you a very good picture of how London looks like with the red bus obviously. But I did not want to stand in the queue, and our friend was our guide when we went to London for my birthday this year. However, I really got drawn to this painting, and it wasn't that expensive, so I would be placing it over here. The issue with this painting is that it's of an odd size. At first I thought that I will cut off, but then it's not going to fit in any of the frames that I have. Like, I tried to put it on here, it's too small. I tried to put it in this one, it's too big, and the other smaller ones that I have, it doesn't fit. I do have a really large one over here, and this is also an IKEA one. At first I thought maybe I will make it like a centerpiece. It doesn't really go well, and I don't have the proper backing for this, so it's not going to work out. What I am planning to do for this one is put this picture frame, and I will have to cut it to size to fit the frame. Put this one behind it, but if I do that, you can see that it kind of cuts off from the side a little bit, and also there are space on top. So I will have to figure out a way to make it look more intentional in this frame, and not make it look awkward. So I will do the cuts and try to make it work, and I will bring you along in this journey. So let's do it. So here you will see me measuring and cutting the picture frame mount to the appropriate size that will fit in the frame. The picture frame mount is just a harder cardstock, so it can be easily cut using a scissor, but if you want to make it easier you can probably cut with one of those cutting machines and it will be just faster. I also used a very small scissor, so it kind of took me a little longer and a bit painful to go through the whole cutting process. I should have used a bigger scissor, but I only have one kitchen bigger scissor and I didn't want to use it on paper. Anyway, after cutting it down, I was going to use a Sharpie to draw the outline that would be peeking out of the frame mount, but realized that it was not really adhering to the textured surface of the cloth and I would probably have ruined the tip of the marker. So I brought in the acrylic paint again to paint all over. Once the boundary was painted, it was now time to tackle on to the main picture frame mount. It is pure white and I want it to be black, so I'm going to use the same acrylic and paint it all over the frame. Once it was all painted, I let it dry for almost an hour, so it was cured to touch. Then it was time to assemble everything and let this beautiful piece shine and have its own moment. However, I found a small mistake, not mine, but the artist who made it. The lower line and also a little bit on the top was, the whole painting is actually a little asymmetric. It is not really straight to how the entire canvas is, so it's a little tilted, so I had to make a little bit of arrangement and I only realized it after I put it in the frame. So I could not let it stay like that, so I grabbed the Sharpie and tried my best to make a straight line. I think it looks so much better in this darker frame and mount. What do you think? Let me know about it in the comments below. I put all the picture frames that I will be using today on my floor to get an idea of how the whole composition will look like, and I think that's what I will go ahead with. I was actually listening to a book called Timekeeper by Tara Sim on Audible while working in this room. It is a book about a boy who works as a clock tower keeper and how he tries to find a way to get his father back to the current timestamp after he got stuck in time because the clock tower in that particular town broke and the time literally stood still, so nobody could go in or out of that town. It was a very fascinating story to listen to, and the best part of it was that it was completely free on Audible. I do have a monthly subscription, but if you use my link, you can get 30 days free on your subscription plus 2 credits, which will get you 2 books of your choice. The link to the Audible subscription will be mentioned in the description below. I had to do a slight modification from the original composition of the gallery wall, as the lamp was practically covering up the entirety of my flower vase painting, so I rearranged the smaller frames and I would say it turned out pretty fine. Now it's time for some finishing touches. I will place this succulent here because it does not take much space. The other corner looked very drab, so I am going to put this ZZ plant in this basket over the drawers. Maybe not conventional to put big baskets on top, but it fills the space nicely, so I like it. Finally arranging our wedding picture and our wax melt because we need it to be smelling good too. Well friends, that is the end of this video. I know it was very different from my regular post, but that is the idea behind having a studio vlog, so you can see a little behind the scene moments. I hope you have enjoyed it and let me know your thoughts on decorating your workspace. I will have my regular bullet journal videos up soon, so I will see you in the next one. Bye!